Hello my friends, it's Ranger Russ from the Meigs Nature Center. Doing take two because yesterday I tried to do this program. It didn't seem to go out anywhere. But we're going to try again, and today we are doing Build-A-Bug. That's why I've got the bug glasses on. But before I do that, let's talk about the Nature Center. Currently the Nature Center is closed. State parks are open, so you can go to the parks across the state of Connecticut. They are open. Feel free to visit them, but you still need to follow the guidelines, wear your masks, keep your distances, but please enjoy our state parks. The Nature Center you can enjoy through these programs, which happen Tuesday through Friday at 11 on Facebook Live. If you miss a live program, you can see them on our YouTube channel, Meigs Point Nature Center YouTube channel. Also, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I need to get 1,000 subscribers, and then I can start to do these YouTube mobile programs, not just Facebook Live. And then if you want to see additional educational information, you can visit meigspointnaturecenter.org, go to the Virtual Learning Center, and you will see these videos plus vocabulary lists, games, activities, educational information are all included on the Virtual Learning Center. Okay, so hopefully everything is running okay. There is not a very good connection in this room, but today we are going to be doing Build-A-Bug. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to go through the parts of a bug and compare it to a spider, because people do get spiders, they put them in the insect group and they are not. And at the end, we're going to see if the bug that we built exists in the wild, or if we've created something that has a good reason it does not exist in the wild. So let's go right off to the parts of an insect. So we have our diagram of an insect here. You can notice that now the words are all going to be reversed for you because I have to see the camera. We have a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. Those are the main parts of the body of an insect. We also have antenna, legs, and wings, and we'll be talking about those as we move along. Now, a spider. So one of my volunteers made these really cool models of insects and spiders. So here we've got the model of our spider. You will notice that a spider only has two main body segments. The thorax, what is the thorax in an insect, is combined with the head. So the head and thorax of an insect is combined to make the cephalothorax. Okay? So this is the first body segment, the cephalothorax of a spider, and then the back is the abdomen. It does have it does have legs, but different number of legs. It does not have an antenna. The pedipalps are not an antenna. Pedipalps. I always get that tongue twisted. There's another name for it. Pallops, I think. They just cut off the first pid part and call them pallops. But this is a spider. So we're going to go through, and there's the model of one of our insect models. We're going to go through and build this bug. And let's see, we're going to do it over here. Let's erase this one. Okay. But the first thing we need to choose, well, we do need to have our head and thorax and abdomen. So there's our head. I'm going to go with thorax, and most of them have a larger abdomen than the thorax. So how's that? That's the start of our insect. Now let's go over and we're going to look at the antenna. We're going to choose our antenna. Now spiders do not have antenna. Those polyps look like antenna, but they are not. They're also called the jaws, okay? Not antenna. Insects have lots of different types of antenna. And if you look here, you can see some of the different types. There's the serrated, the molliform. These are little segments. You've got them that are look like ferns. Those are the moths. Some with the long and then the little bulb on the end. Those are the butterflies for the most part. But what the antenna do, there's only one function for the antenna, and that's what they use to smell. So they use it to find food, either the fragrance of a flower or, in the case of flies, the rotting of what flies like to eat. And they can use it to find each other because insects give off pheromones and they can find one another using their antenna. So let's go back and we're going to add some antenna onto our insect. And I really like the moth antenna. It's very cool. It's like a fern. And they do have two antennae. I'm only doing one side here. So we'll have one antenna. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about eyes for a second. Now, spiders typically have 8 eyes, and their eyes are much more similar to ours than an insect's eyes. The eyes in the middle, that's their main seeing eye, and the ones around the edges, those are for seeing motion. Insects have compound eyes. And the compound eyes, that's why I was wearing these glasses, they're a whole bunch of light detecting segments within the eye. So I'm going to try doing that. Okay, so this is how it would look if you saw the way an insect did. All right, so how many fingers am I holding up? I wonder if anybody can tell. Insects have a compound eye, but their simple brains are able to take all of these different images and bring them together, and they can tell when things are sneaking up on them. They can see pretty well with that compound eye. So let's go back to our insect here, and we're going to give it a compound eye. Let's make that a little thicker so you can see. All right, so we've got our insect and it now has an antenna end. Let's make the antenna thicker here too. All right. The next part of our insect that we need are the legs. So going back to the model of our spider, spiders have 8 legs. Okay? 8 legs. Insects do not. Now, many times when their antennae are really large, people count those as legs. They are not legs. They have 6 legs. And the legs all come off of the thorax. There aren't any legs attached to the abdomen. The same thing with the spider, all of the legs come off of the cephalothorax, not off the abdomen. But now we need to choose our legs. So we're going to go and look at some different types of legs. So we've got legs from the diving beetle that allow you to swim. Fleas, they allow them to jump. Louse, not very nice, but they have hooks so they can hold on to their prey. Mole crickets, like a mole, they burrow, so they need digging legs. We've got fly legs. Those are more for walking. The honeybee also for walking, for getting into the flowers. Praying mantis are jumping legs, and their front legs are grabbing legs, but their back legs are jumping like a cricket or a grasshopper. So I think we're going to choose, I don't know, which legs should we choose? I like the big jumping legs. So let's go with jumping legs here. So again, the legs attach to the thorax, not the abdomen. So we need to have 6 legs coming off. And our jumping legs are going to be really large. Okay. So there's our 6 jumping legs. Again, we're only showing one side of the insect, so there's only 3 there. All right, starting to look like a grasshopper, right? Except for the feathery antenna. Next, we're going to look at the wings. So there are different types of wings. Now, spiders don't have any wings. Okay, there aren't any spiders that have wings. There are spiders that can make parachutes out of their webbing and float or get blown on the wind. So there are spiders that can do that. But wings. Now, the ant, which this is the model of, ants don't have wings in this stage. They do have wings at different stages of their life. And the males and the queen have wings. But here's our next model. Look at that. How cool is that? Giant antenna, great big wings. These are the butterfly wings. So there are actually lots of different types of wings. They typically divide it up into 7 different groups of wings, but we're going to dump it down and only do 3 different types of wings. So the first type of wings we have are the membranous wings of flies, bees, dragonflies, things like that. Great for flight, great for maneuverability. You know, a bee needs to get into a flower, a dragonfly needs to catch other insects, so they have very maneuverable wings. The next group of wings, and there are actually 3 different types of those membranous wings. The next group of wings, there are 3 types of this one as well, are the armored wings. Now you've got armor like a beetle, a hard, so they have, I should have mentioned this, they actually have 4 wings, 2 sets of wings. So you can see 4 wings. There are exceptions. I think it's the flies only have, or is it the bees? I always get those 2 reversed. But the beetle has its 4 wings. The first set of wings are hardened into hard armor. And the back set of wings are for flying. These are great for protection. When they're folded down, they protect the wings. Not good for flying. They are not good flyers. Other ones that can fly, the grasshoppers, they have a leathery armor. So beetles have a hard exoskeleton armor. The grasshoppers have a leathery exoskeleton. And then some have a part leather and then part membrane on the wing. But we're going to call all those the armored wings. And then the last group, well, this is an exception. This is a thrice, I think is how you pronounce it. Very, very uncommon insect, an exception. They actually can fly with these fan-like feathery wings. It is a pest. It's only, we do have them in California now as an invasive species, but these are really just over in Europe. And they're only about 1 millimeter long. So you're probably usually not going to see those. But the next group of wings are the scaled wings. Those are our butterflies and moths. And those allow for much faster flight. Believe it or not, butterflies and moths are some of the fastest flyers in the insect world. So those scales allow the wind to pass over very quickly and make them very fast flyers. Another thing that the scales do, it makes it easy to color the wings because you can do the scales are different colors, and that's great for butterflies and moths. Moths use it for camouflage. Butterflies use it to scare predators away when, like, the monarch says, I'm poisonous, I'm bright orange, I'm poisonous, you don't want to eat me. Or they use it to find each other or they can even, if they're colorful, blend in with flowers. So which wings do we want to choose? We've got armor, membrane for good agility flying, or fast flying with the butterfly wings. Not sure which we should go with. Do I have any comments? Who thinks we should go? I don't see any yet. If anybody has a suggestion for our wings, let me know. Not seeing any, so I'm going to choose the butterfly wing, the scaled wing of a butterfly. And I don't have a lot of room here. They're going to be really large. And we've got 2 of them. All right, and let's make them colorful. They can be really colorful. Ooh, let's do some green. Here we go. Some stripes. So now we've got our big, scaly, colorful wings. Now let's go back over here. The next thing we have to choose, the mouth parts. I love this picture. Okay, so we've got some different mouth parts to choose from. Let's start down here with the grasshopper. They've got chewing mouth parts. They're eating plants, so they need to be able to chew them up. We've got the mosquito with the piercing, sucking mouth parts. We all know what they feed on, us. Then we've got the siphoning mouth parts. They curl them up because they have to stick it way down into the flower to siphon off the nectar, and then they can curl it up so that it gets out of the way. And then the fly, the spongy mouth part. They're eating things that are rotten and to us disgusting, so they actually have 2 sections, one on each side, and they just absorb like a sponge their food. Now, which one of these do we like the best? I don't know. I'm kind of particular to this sponging mouth part, or the mosquito. Mosquitoes are always cool. Let's do the mosquito. We're going to do a piercing, sucking mouth part. So we need to have a very long. There we go. There's our piercing mouth part. Okay, and let's talk a little bit back to the spider just for a second. They've got these, sometimes they call them mandibles, but fangs or pincers, whatever you want to call it. They don't have all these other cool mouth parts. They've got these big, and they do not suck. They're not like a vampire with a hollow fang or something and suck the food out. All right, but we now have our insect. So now we need to talk about, is this a functional insect? That's a very good question. So right off, let's take a look at the legs. We've got jumping legs, right? Okay, that's great. We can leap really far, but unfortunately, we've got these great big giant wings. So if we try to leap with these giant wings, these wings are going to hold us back, so we're not going to be able to leap as well. We've got our piercing, sucking mouth part. However, with these great big beautiful wings, we're not going to be able to sneak up on our prey as easily, and also we don't have those legs with hooks to hang on to our prey. So we're going to have a hard time holding on to our prey. The big wings. So this is going to make us fly really well. We're going to be able to either blend in with our surroundings, or we're going to be really bright and attract attention, so we better not taste very good. But with these big heavy legs, it's going to be harder for us to fly. So overall, I would say that our insect turns out to be not so functional. And I really can't think of any insect in the wild that has this combination of mouth parts, wings, and legs. The antenna too. Now, again, the antenna is just for sensing odors. So that may be helpful to have this big feathery antenna. If we're tracking down, let's say we're preying on humans, we can smell their body odor and hunt them down and use our sucking mouth part. But again, we're not going to be able to leap as far or fly as fast. Can't leap as far as these legs provide and can't fly as fast as these wings provide because they don't really work together. And the legs don't really work with the mouth parts. All right, we didn't do such a good job creating an insect that would be functional in the wild, but we built our bug. Now, I hope everybody knows now the difference between an insect with its usually 4 wings, antenna, 6 legs, 3 body parts, compound eyes, and the spider with 8 legs, 2 body parts, 8 eyes, no antenna, and only 1 quite simple mouth part when you compare them to the insect, and no wings. So, this is our Build a Bug program. If anyone has any questions or comments and you're not watching this live, you can message us on Facebook or go to meigspointnaturecenter.org and send us a message that way. I hope that you enjoyed this program. These programs will continue Tuesday through Friday at 11 o'clock. And this Friday is not looking so good weather-wise, so I might try and do a traveling program tomorrow rather than doing one on Friday when the weather's not going to be as good. Again, please visit our YouTube channel. Let's take a look for a second there. You can see all the videos that we've done over the past few weeks. Lots of fun things. There's the snow goose. I suggest you go look at that one. I haven't seen the snow goose this week at all. Didn't see it at the end of last week. So I think the snow goose has moved on. I was kind of hoping it might spend the winter here because some of our Canada geese do spend the winter. So again, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us and like us on Facebook and enjoy meigspointnaturecenter.org, the virtual learning center. Until next time, this is Ranger Russ from the beach room at the Meigs Point Nature Center.